It's 9 p.m. I haven't started packing. Okay, it's time. I do leave at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Just had a great dinner, but it's time to start packing now. It's go time.
Quickly run together and just separate.
Hi, Courtney. It's dark outside. My original plan was to take BART to the airport, but then I realized because the airline was like, you need to come 3 hours early for your flight, there's no BART trains right now. So I checked the buses, and there is a bus, but I would have to go all the way down to Telegraph Avenue, like just walking to take that bus. And I can't go all that way with my big old luggage, my 2 suitcases, and my big old backpack. It's too far. And usually there would be a bus that goes straight down my street all the way to Telegraph, but that bus got deactivated because of COVID. So basically, COVID has taken all my options. But I think that just means I'm gonna take an expensive Uber, and that's just how it's gonna be, and we're gonna suck it up. But cheers. Airport fit check. Hey Courtney, it fully took me like 15 minutes to get through the passport.
This is a security advisory. Please maintain.
It fully took me like 15 minutes to get through the passport agent and then through security. Security was so fast. So now I'm just here. I think I'm here 4 hours early because I wanted to be safe. So we got 4 hours to kill. Thank you to the DT Journal for keeping me occupied during this time. I ended up killing an hour and a half with this bad boy alone because I read all of our entries cover to cover so that I could catch up on what we had all written, and then I also wrote some more and updated on my travels. And that's baby Ryan Emery. Very fitting to see Ryan in his plane as I take off from my own. I was excited on this plane because I had all 3 seats to myself, so full row, all to myself. I did struggle a little bit to clean out my teeth in the bathroom, but I made it through, you know, I did it, so. Sometime on this trip, I don't think it was on this plane ride, I think it was over the Atlantic Ocean, but I put on a playlist that my mom had made me for my travels, and I was listening to it as I was laying down trying to sleep, because there was a bunch of babies crying, so I listened to music. And then a song came on that I recognized because my mom used to sing it to me to put me to sleep. And it's a song where the singer tells the listener that they talked to the moon while the listener was sleeping and asked the moon to always watch over the listener and keep them safe. And I noticed that the moon was out as this song came on. And I didn't even remember the words, I just knew that my mom used to sing it to me. And so that was kind of cute. Okay, so this is the only shot I have from the Atlanta, Georgia airport because I was only there for a hot second and it was hectic, so here is a dramatic reenactment. I rush off my plane in order to get to my next gate, and when I arrive, people are all grabbing papers, so I ask a group of old people what's happening, and then they tell me to go get some for myself, and then me and the old people fill them out together, and we all start talking, and they all have very good vibes. We were friends. And then everyone has to turn in these papers into the officials before they're allowed on the plane, so the line is super long, it's wrapping around the corner. I stood in this line for 30 minutes, and it made our plane departure very delayed. And when I first got in the line, I was behind a mom with 2 kids, and they were having a great time at that point, but by the end of the line, they were screaming their heads off because we had been in line for so long, and honestly, I couldn't blame them. And by the time we got to the front, the man letting people onto the plane, he didn't even look at my papers that I had just filled out, and then no one ever asked me for them after that, so I don't know why I filled them out. And then he took one look at my COVID test, which states that I got tested the day before, on January 15th, and I was flying on the 16th. But for some reason, although January 15th is written all over this test, there's some like standard printout next to the specific test name that says January 11th, and he almost didn't let me board my plane because of that tiny date. And eventually, after some negotiation, he says, okay, fine, I'm gonna let you on, but I can't promise you that the guys on the other side will be lenient. And I'm like, okay, and then I just get on the plane. Okay, so funny story, I originally had somebody sitting next to me when I boarded the plane, and I didn't even see what they looked like except for the fact that they were young, and still, I immediately was like, this is gonna turn into a plane romance. I don't even want a plane romance, but if the two of us are stuck here together for the next 10 hours, I mean, it's probably gonna happen. And then, the second that I had that thought, he got up and moved to a different empty seat, and then I realized my plane romance had died the second that it arose. But of course, I did not care. I was not sad, because now I had 3 seats to myself again. And a lot of people in the plane had entire rows to themselves, and so we all sprawled out and made ourselves full length beds to sleep in, and it was so nice. And I usually get antsy on planes because I'm so cramped, but the 10 hours went by so fast because I was so comfortable and I was stretched out. Okay, I just think it's funny how the second that I leave the United States, I still cannot escape. Because as soon as I get to this place, they are playing all these videos about, like, the insurrection at the Capitol, and videos about the Confederate flag, and gun control, and Barack Obama and Trump. And they just keep playing these videos on repeat for the entire 3 hours of my layover. I feel like Amsterdam gave me a very friendly goodbye with this rainbow. I appreciated that. Because y'all, I was starting to lose it at this point. My body was very confused, and my memories are really fuzzy from this plane ride. It was 2 hours long, and my head was dropping asleep the entire time, but I could never fully get comfortable and asleep. But my body would not give up trying, though, and so I was just like in and out of consciousness the whole time. Nothing felt real. I'd been awake for 24 hours, kind of. Also, I noticed that the warning that there's not going to be food on the plane or in the airports, that was not true. I was fed on all 3 planes, and these waffles that they gave me reminded me of Seth MacLachlan. So this is me arriving in Norway finally. Not pictured, but when this plane lands, we all have to go through customs, and it takes a really long time because they are scrutinizing us. And I'm told that my COVID test requires a stamp and signature from a doctor, which I don't have, but I make it through. And right at the gate, they have COVID tests and quarantine hotel check-in. And that COVID test hurts so much more than any American test I've ever taken. But anyways, I finished everything that I needed to do early, but I end up having to sit there waiting for a full hour because every person has to go through customs before the quarantine taxi is allowed to leave. So I was like dead tired of waiting for a full hour. But yeah, eventually me and one other woman leave on the quarantine taxi. And even when we arrive to the quarantine hotel, we still have to wait inside the taxi for like 20 minutes because we have to get checked in by our driver so that we don't touch anything. But eventually we make it. Welcome to my crib. Not a single light switch works and I don't know what to do about it. I can't even take a shower in the dark, can I? I guess I could. It's not the worst thing in the world. I just don't want to deal with this right now because I've been awake for 28 hours, and I would like to go to sleep, but I can't figure out my room. That's a problem for tomorrow, you know? I'll just shower in the dark. I'm here. Here's my hotel. Okay, it's been like an hour and 15 minutes since we last spoke. I got the lights to work. Turns out they're not broken. Norway is just really good at saving energy, because look. You have to use your key card to turn on all the lights. And I guess that's because if you leave the room and you take your key card with you, none of the lights can be left on, which is actually really smart. And so I forgive them because in that time, I also couldn't get the hot water working because the lights didn't work, so I couldn't see that there was a tiny button for the hot water. So I started taking like this really terrible sink bath. Not in the sink. Like scooping water from the sink into the shower, hot water. But yeah, now that the lights are on, look at this shower. Look at this. It just... what? Whoa. Yeah, so she works. Which was good. And also, if I had gone to sleep a while ago, I would have missed dinner, so bon appetit, I guess. But yeah, I don't know why I'm being quiet. It's very quiet in here. Okay, taste test. First of all, they gave me a lot of beef. It's gonna smell like beef in here. I'm not even gonna eat it. We got 2 different types of beanie, grainy salads. Good. We got this guy. This guy was touching the beef. Like, you're supposed to eat that with the beef, but like, yeah, we got salad. We've got a pie of some sort. We've got many breads, lots of carbs in this family. Pudding? Yeah.
Winston! Winston's cat! Hi, Cece!
Turns out this pie made of pears. Okay, I've officially been up for 30 hours. Travel to Norway has never been that long before. It's always been like max 24 hours, but like COVID and stuff made it real crazy. Everything from like arriving at the airport 3 hours early, and like after I got my COVID test at the Norwegian like border station, I also had to wait for like an hour. I feel like there's details that have happened that I haven't said, but I'm not gonna remember what they are. I'm gonna sleep. Good night. It's the end of the first vlog, I think. I don't know if things will be interesting from here on out, because it'll just be, it's nothing different in Norway, you know? I still have to quarantine here, and I still have to, like, not travel a lot. So, this is definitely one of the more interesting vlogs for you, Courtney, because travel's interesting, but I will vlog when anything happens that excites me. So, I'll make a vlog of, like, my 10-day quarantine in this hotel, because that might be silly. Or it might be boring. I'm gonna start school in 2 days, so